I was really involved with the seminary life. I was giving it my 100%. And then my last year there, my last semester there, it was a weird feeling in my spiritual life. I felt, like when you're fixing up a puzzle,
Yes.
and there's like this one piece that barely fits, but you're trying to jam it in to make
Okay.
sure it fits. That was me. I was trying to just jam myself into
the priesthood.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just felt like I didn't really belong. I was like, this must be, during my prayers, I was like, this must be like some sort of distraction. I must be like afraid of commitment. And I was afraid of commitment.
Okay.
A little bit. And then, so this pattern starts all over again.
Okay.
Talking to my spiritual director, like,
Here we are again.
Here we go again. This is a different spiritual director, Father Bruni. And he's like, Matt, you got to give it another semester. Come on, give it another year.
Yeah.
And all over again, I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I can do this. I just feel like I shouldn't continue.
And he's probably saying to you, you don't want this to happen all over again, and you're going to come back again. And
yeah. But this time, I wasn't romanticizing the past. I was looking to the future. I was like, I got to do something else.
Did the idea of celibacy, was that weighing on you? Because I know a lot of seminarians, that's a big, this big point, big thing that they have to wrestle with. Celibacy.
Yeah, celibacy. Definitely weighed on me. Mostly the fear of being alone.
Okay.
And the funny thing was, after I left the seminary that second time, I felt more alone than I ever felt before. So being in the seminary, I didn't feel alone, but it was this fear of being alone.
Okay.
That really got to me. And then when I did leave the seminary that second time, I was more alone than ever before. And I wasn't celibate anymore. I was I left the seminary.
You're going out.
I'm gonna go out, and I don't have to.
The door was open for dating and all of that.
Right.
Did you date during that 1 year that you went back to, the private sector after?
No, I did not. No,
you didn't?
No.
So there was that wasn't one of those things that, hey, I can date now.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, that was a surprising thing. I was more focused on what I need to do for my life.
Career driven.
Yeah.
Okay.
What I got to do. Every time I left the seminary or left something that I enjoyed, I lost a sense of identity.
Okay.
And there was this sense of grief that I had to process.
Yes.
What they say is like, men, if they leave their occupation, they tie their occupation with their identity, right?
Yes.
And so I tied my occupation with my identity.
You're no longer Matt the police officer. You're no longer Matt the seminarian.
Yeah.
Like, who am I?
Who am I? Yeah.
I had that same experience when I left teaching for a while. Like, what am I doing now? Who am I? This was my focus. I was, when you introduce yourself to people, hey, what do you do?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
You don't know how to answer.
Yeah.
What do I do? What am I?
And it was almost shameful, almost like.
Yes.
Like, what do you do for a living?
I'm kind of in between.
I just left seminary again. You left seminary again? What are you doing?
So the second time that you left seminary, was this it?
That was it.
And did you know that this was it?
No, part of me was still a little bit open to going back.
And how was their reaction to you different? Was it the same thing? Oh, you're probably going to be back? Or did they feel like this was it for you?
Well,
your spiritual director and director.
They were still trying to encourage me to go back.
Okay.
My spiritual director, he was open, like he was still objective.
Okay.
As much as he could be, but he kept saying, "Well, come back, check it out. It's no shame coming back a third time."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh,
just keep the door open, in case you want." Yeah.
Yeah. Right off the bat, right when I left the second time, I joined a nonprofit. I got a job at a nonprofit. to work in their family violence division, to counsel or to help out victims of family violence, find a place to
Okay.
live and all that stuff. And this anxiety came back.
The same anxiety that you
Same-
had was
Yeah.
when you went back to being a police officer.
Yeah, same anxiety. I was like, "What are you telling me, God? What is going on?
Uh-huh.
Like, why can't I hold a job? What is happening?" So I eventually quit that job too. So at this moment, like I'm talking to you about identity, I'm
Yeah.
like so confused.
Yeah.
Who am I? What am I doing with my life?
Is there something wrong with me?
Is there something wrong with me?
Yes.
Yeah. So I even went to a counselor just to talk, figure out, is there something wrong
Yes.
with my my mind or something?
What did your parents say?
They were supportive as long as I
Uh-huh.
was out of the seminary. They were supportive.
Okay, so they were
Yeah.
fine with what you did.
Yeah.
And what did the counselor say?
She was like, "You need some time to think about your life."
Okay.
So, because bouncing around after the police department, I bounced right into the seminary.
Yes.
After seminary, I went into a job that helped. That helped, but
paid the bills.
That paid the bills, yeah.
Yeah.
But I was jumping
Yeah.
too quickly.
It got you by, but there was no trajectory of your career.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I jumped back into the seminary the second time. And then after leaving, I jumped into that nonprofit job.
Okay.
So my spiritual director, he still talks to me. He still talked to me back then. And he was like, "Okay, well, time to grieve." He gave me a great book to read.
Mm.
It was called Ruthless Trust, Trusting in God, like absolutely with your life and how to do that.
Uh-huh.
So
Is that the name of the book?
Ruthless Trust, yes.
Ruthless Trust.
Yeah.
Do you know the name of the author?
Brennan Manning, I think.
Okay.
But it was a really good book because he talks about how we utilize how we should utilize our wounds, our flaws, and in order to use them to help other people. So like the wounds of Christ saved the world. So kind of like the wounds of ourselves kind of can help other people.
Yes.
You don't know how you help, but somehow God's working through you.
Yes.
So that book really helped. But Father Rooney, he just told me, you gotta take a break.
Uh-huh.
You gotta grieve. You gotta grieve your loss of identity. So I spent like 4 months just figuring out what to do. Like
You read this book and processed it and
just had 4 months time off. No work, nothing. I felt really bad, but it was something I had to do.
you were searching for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was tough. Leaving seminary was tough. Not many people know that, I guess. That when a man discerns out,
Is it traumatic?
minor, I guess, but it
Uh-huh.
there's a grieving process that must take place
Okay.
for every guy that discerns out.